All right. Well, hey everyone, this is Stephanie from Guiding Force Consulting, and today I'm really excited to do our interview series with Leslie Ferris Yerger. And Leslie, why don't we kick off the interview with you sharing something, a fun fact about you that most people don't know?
Fun fact about me is that I really like college basketball. So particularly two teams, the Purdue Boilermakers, my undergraduate alma mater, and then the UNC Chapel Hill Tar Heels. Go Tar Heels. And so I look forward to it every year. And it's just fun for me to watch and follow my teams. So, yeah.
So I want to get started with the reason we're really here. And I just did an interview with Susan Miller, and she talked about the initiative that you guys are sharing in My Density Matters.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping our viewers are familiar with the campaign and they watched that great interview with Susan. But really, this whole campaign and the effort was launched because of your amazing journey. So, Leslie, can you just share a little bit about how the effort got started?
Sure. I'd love to. So back in November of 2017, I was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer 2 months after an all clear mammogram and ultrasound. So I got that phone call that says, oh, all good, see you next year, from a mammogram and a follow up ultrasound. And then it was the shock of my life to get diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer just 2 months after that. Like, it was also confusing. It made no sense to me at all. So I did wind up getting a second opinion. I wound up going to the Mayo Clinic, and certainly they confirmed the diagnosis, but I began to learn how that could have happened, and that really it's not all that uncommon for mammograms to miss
Mhm.
breast cancers, especially in women with dense breasts, like I have, and many women have. And really, the most concise way that I can tell you of how all this came about is because I don't want my story to become anybody else's story. I, this doesn't need to happen as much as it does, and we can do better. And I've just taken it on as my life's mission to educate women, to empower them, to advocate for themselves, know their density, so that my story does not become their story. And that's really the bottom line.
Yeah, it's such an inspirational message and such a shock, even hearing it as somebody who hasn't gone through it,
Yeah.
because I think we can all put ourselves in your shoes at some point and realize when we get test results back, everything's great and you just go about your day. And then to think a couple months later it could be so derailed is just so alarming. So, thank you for sharing your story because it's something very personal that you've taken on a very public platform. And I just appreciate you willing to share it with other people.
Thank you. It's just really become my life's mission now. And
Mhm.
basically, I just tell people, poor English here, but I can't not do it anymore. I just can't not do it. So it just propels me every day and drives what I do.
You chose to be a voice for the other people who don't even know that they could be in this situation in the future.
Right. We have so much work to do with getting the word out to all women and making sure they advocate for themselves, and through the medical community too, for them to do better. So this is a huge undertaking.
And we both know now in today's environment, there's so much going on, whether it is medical or related to race tensions and issues or inequalities, COVID and all of its effect that it's had on communities all over, unemployment. There's a lot of heavy things going on right now, and people are in tough times. What would you take from your experience of being in something incredibly difficult, and what type of advice would you give other people that are going through some adversity right now themselves?
There's so many, things going on, as you say. And my only advice is, and it sounds, so easy to say, and it's not as easy to do, but find a nugget, find something that empowers you, that can make you fuel for after you get through the tough time, if you have to, wait through that, to fuel you to be better, do better, advocate better, make the world a better place.
Mhm.
Because that's really what fuels me, and that really worked. I'm going to take this, bunch of lemons and turn them into lemonade if I can. And that can happen in big ways and that can happen in really small ways.
Mhm.
But any of that really, really empowers people to feel better and look at their adversity as an ultimate advantage.
Mhm. Yeah, I think it speaks to a lot of nonprofits that I work with is they're always trying to say, what can we do to turn the situation around and really make a positive impact? And
Right.
you and your initiative with Susan, you've completely embodied that. I love the tremendous work that you're doing with spreading the word and awareness and, asking people to take action.
Yeah.
Um,
We're all about the action. It's all well and good to know something, but if you don't do anything with your knowing, it's just knowing. We want the action. We want women out there advocating for themselves, taking action on what they've learned.
But Leslie, when I was talking with you previously, you guys mentioned that one of your next initiatives is to focus on the health equity issues around women's breast health. And I'd love to learn a little bit more on how you plan to approach it and what have you seen so far?
Great question. Well, there's no doubt it's statistically proven that underserved communities have poorer outcomes from breast cancer. And so I'm excited about an initiative that we're doing this summer, again, partnering with another not-for-profit in an underserved area to bring an awareness campaign and an action campaign to that community, working with the two of us and also a Master's of Public Health student who will be focusing on this for the summer. So very exciting. That's a really good first step for us. And who knows what's going to happen after that.
Well,
So
we all know you guys are incredibly powerful when you put your minds to something. So I look forward to tracking after summer the great success that you'll have. And
thank you.
And I know you guys are very intentional about the actions that you take. And I really hope everybody goes to all the links provided. I hope they read your personal story because you give a very high level overview, but it's a great, great story and has a lot of inspiration in there. You talked that your big focus is on action and having folks take action.
Mhm.
So, what is the one takeaway you really want everybody to walk away from watching this interview with and to do or take act on or share with the people they know in their networks?
Far and away, the number one thing that any woman can do is be empowered.
Mhm.
Well, Susan's emblem here, very powerful, to use that to find out your breast density. And I
Mhm.
know that sounds probably kind of simple. It's not as easy as it should be. Find out your breast density. The only way to find out your breast density is to either get a mammogram or check a mammogram report. So that is step number one. And then if you are dense, speak to your doctor about additional screening.
Mhm. And I know,
Imagine if every woman in the United States did that, what an impact it would have.
yeah, if everybody stood up and demanded their results and
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
those critical conversations, right? How many
Yeah. So it's kind of like, yes, do that for yourself, but be a part of the movement. You're doing it for yourself, but you're also doing it for everybody else coming after you.
yeah.
So it's an important thing to do, and it's an important way to be.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I know you guys created some really wonderful resources to help people with that.
Yes.
Where can they go to find more information to support those conversations with their doctor?
Right. So mydensitymatters.org, we've got it all there. We've got a download about why your density matters, just for you to read and for you to give to your friends.
Mhm.
We've got a conversation guide with your doctor. We have a conversation guide with your insurance company. And we also have a conversation guide about roadblocks. If you come up against resistance about either finding out your density or doing something about it, we've got common pushbacks and then what you can do then to push back on that.
But I just want to thank you so much for sharing your story and for being an advocate in this market that I had no idea even existed, a month ago. So thank
Yeah.
you very much for your time and energy.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah.
Thank you.